I think UPSC, clearing UPSC, getting into Indian Administrative Service has been my ikigai for the past 6 years. I have always been academically very strong. Like I was 93% in my 10th, 94% in my intermediate, and I was very good in my graduation. I got campus placed. So I was very good. I started the preparation with the same amount of confidence. So this is just an exam, and this should not be a challenge for me. And I started with whole started this journey. First time ever, I would say I faced a failure, sir. UPSC questions are more logical and more appropriate. It gives you all the signs so that you reach that answer. It gives you questions in a way that you reach that answer. Like, it doesn't want to trouble you. It just want to, maybe if my mother belongs to agriculture department, sir. My father belongs to animal husbandry. So even if you give that UPSC paper to them, they will answer 10-15 questions. When it came to mains, sir, Civilsdaily, I have enrolled myself in Civilsdaily, and most beautiful this thing about it is that Rohit sir was my this thing. Sukanya ma'am was always in constant touch with me, but Rohit sir was the mentor I was getting. And every time I wrote a mains test, he used to call me on Zoom and he used to analyze every answer. And that kind of personal mentorship, I think that is a game changer for mains. I used to practice meditation, sir. And I think that is one thing I will be very grateful for. I devised it. If I can, Sadhguru, I'm sure you have Sadhguru's meditation. Ever since I've practiced those, I've found myself at a very different, I've started experiencing so much of capabilities, so much of potential. Clarity. Clarity of thought. Then I started experiencing I found out I started connecting the dots.
Hi everyone, I have Vinutna with me today, and we'll start this conversation anchoring some of the basics of her preparation journey. I'll tell you that she has given 6 attempts of UPSC. 3 she cleared prelims, 3 she cleared mains. This was her very first attempt at interview, and she secured the rank which will get her the Indian Administrative Services. She'll be an IAS officer now. Vinutna is a mechanical engineering graduate. What's interesting is that she started her UPSC journey back in 2017. So in this whole chat of raw and real, we're going to discuss what all happened in the 6 attempts, what things she did right from the start, things she went horribly wrong to begin with, and which she recovered towards late. How unique was this last attempt for her? What are the things she did right in this attempt, which got her the extra marks? And finally, what was the interview like? So whoever is listening and plugging in on this chat will get to know the real, raw, authentic of her preparation journey. I hope a lot of you are able to relate to it. If yes, do drop in the comment, and we'll try to get in touch with Vinutna again and have a much larger webinar or a closed room private seminar. Thank you, Vinutna. We were connected like a month back, but it took a while for us to finally get on the chat.
I apologize for that. It was fault on my side. Yes.
No issues, but let's start from the lighter note. How has this 1.5 months been, since the results, and how was it that you got an IAS rank? What has been the family and friends around you? What was the hype, in the last few weeks?
Because I have waited for this day for so long. This is something I've dreamt of for so long. It's like ever since I have got to know the result, and the kind of 1 month, the last 1 month I've spent. I think this 1 month I fought for 6 years, and I cannot express in words how happy the people around me are, how happy my family is, how proud all the people around me are. Because me coming from a very small town and coming from a very rural background, my parents belonging to very this thing. So this is very, because I'm the first one ever to get into the services. My parents are there in public service, so I'm the first one to get into all India services. So it has been extremely surreal moments. I've experienced so many surreal moments and meeting so many dignitaries. Like today, for people whose access my parents used to wait for so long, and now I'm going and meeting dignitaries like Chief Minister, and I'm meeting honorary people. That too so easily and so comfortably. All of these things are very, it's very hard to believe that these are happening to us. But yes, they are actually
Must be
happening.
very surreal, right? Must be very surreal.
Yes,
Okay.
and most importantly, I would say whenever I'm seeing the pride in their faces, it's making me feel even more responsible. Abhi, there's halfway done. There's a lot of way ahead to go.
Okay. Now, why before
I'm
we
feeling
get into the
extremely
thick and
responsible.
before we get in the thick of your journey, so people who would be watching you maybe from around, your town or district and all, just give them a sense of this dreamlike state that you are in right now. What is it to be for a person who's hailing from a humble background, cracking the All India services? What happens? Can you help sketch the dream like last 1 month for the
Yes.
people so that they just understand and what is it like to be
Yes.
you in this place?
So, yes, yes, I have understood. So, because, sir, everybody has said that multiple times, and I would emphasize it again that when you, uh, because we all know that civil services is not any luxurious job. Like, this is not a job where you enjoy. This is a
Yeah,
job for which you work hard to work even harder. And this is a
yeah.
choice you have made. This is a choice you have made. And this, trust me, sir, the civil services what are the opportunities lying in front of me. Leaving that aside, the whole journey has been very transformative. Now, my UPSC preparation has taught me so
Mm,
many things. And now
okay.
these 1 month, for the people who are aspiring for civil services, or the candidates of people belonging to humble background, and yet they're aspiring to civil services, I would say that this is one exam where there is chance and where there is possibility. It's the most transparently conducted exam. It is an equalizer. It doesn't bother if you're passing out from the premier institute of the country, and it doesn't matter to it if you're passing out from a normal college in your village or in your town. So all it matters to it, all they want is exactly the quality they look for you in your interview, and that is a candidate suitable for a career in public service.
Hmm.
So that is the only thing that matters. And how will you develop that by the time you go to the interview and face those five esteemed people is what
Hmm.
this journey is all about. And it's a journey full of, I'm sure, sir, everybody who begins this preparation, I also have begun this preparation whole enamored, and because my
Hmm.
mother and father have worked with so many district collectors, especially my father. So he
Okay.
has worked with district collectors. I used to watch district collectors moving in Scorpio, then having that siren and having
Yeah.
all the Novas and big bangla, all that rutba. I used to see
Yeah.
that, and I have always been academically very strong. Like
Okay.
I was 93% in my 10th, 94% in my intermediate, and I was very good in my graduation. I got campus placed, so I was very
Okay.
good. I started the preparation with the same amount of confidence. So this is just
Okay.
an exam, and this should not be a challenge for me. And I started with whole enamorment. I mean, enamored. Started this journey. First time ever, I would say I faced a failure, sir.
Okay.
That has hit me very hard. First prelims, I failed. And till that time, what our education system teaches us is this failure, the mistakes. This is a very bad
Hmm.
word. Like you should not
Yeah.
even go close to them. But
Yeah.
I've understood the importance of failure, sir. How important is it to fail? And how important is it to understand that you are allowed to commit mistakes but don't repeat them? Then
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from my failures, sir. And trust me, sir, I would say when I was 22 in 2017, when I gave my first attempt, I
Hmm.
would, if I even if I would have cleared the exam, that would just
Hmm.
be because I've crammed something or I've done some quick fix.
Hmm.
But now I value my failures. I value my lessons I've learned. The kind of person I've become now, I respect my journey myself.
Oh, that's so nice to
So
hear.
for all this, I think everybody should, for people belonging to humble background, ये personal growth experience करने के लिए you have to do this.
Beautiful. I mean, this is what the essence of raw and real has been. I can't name you countless of students, rankers this time who I've spoken with. They've been stellar in academics, 10th, 12th, undergraduate. And
Yes, sir.
then like Preeti, there's a ranker Preeti, she I think had got AIR 130, will get IPS. She always wanted to become an IAS officer right from the start. So she even took humanities in 11, 12, topped, and then came to Miranda House, Delhi, made the whole career suitable to IAS preparation, but then failed prelims thrice. And that was gut wrenching. So everyone's story is around the same. And one important thing which I have seen is that the aspirants who are now getting to the ranks are very mature in the way they look and perceive themselves. Like
Yes,
you
sir.
said, right? You have a respect for your own journey. I
Yes, sir.
think very few people say that. So tell us, so do this thing. Compare yourself now versus who you were 6 years ago in terms of your outlook on
Yes, sir.
perseverance, on how deep you would go into subject matters now. Sketch yourself in some way.
Firstly, when I began my preparation, I was academically good candidate, very fragile as a girl, emotionally also very dependent on my parents. I prepared in Delhi, sir. So me going from
Okay.
here to Delhi, and I've never been to northern India. Food was a challenge for me. Climate was a challenge for me. Language was a challenge for me. So
Yeah.
I went there. I've begun my journey. I did not think that this will take so long. I thought that okay, I forget about attempts. I've never thought about attempts. I thought this is an exam which I have to clear because I want to become an IAS. That's all. That was all in my mind. No attempts,
Yeah.
nothing. So I started off like that. I gave my prelims. I failed. So back then, when I failed, I used to cry. I mean, I used to feel just like what our education system till our graduation. We have a way of thinking, no sir. We used to
Yeah.
think if matlab you are not a good. I mean, you're not good in studies or you're
Yeah.
not good in studies. No, then that is when that kind of enlightenment has happened to me. That then I tried that I tried differently. What I did was this exam gives you a lot of time and space for introspection. This is what
Hmm.
was missing before. I never used to think what was actually going inside, or I mean, what am I committing mistakes? What we usually do is blame. It's very important we take responsibility for the failure. If we
Hmm.
say that this didn't work out, that didn't work out, something or the other will never work out. So it's extremely important that I took the responsibility for my failure every time, sir. 1 2 days I used to suffer. Third day I'm back on my study table. I
Okay.
will honestly tell you, sir. After failing, then I've realized that enamored of the Indian administrative services, because of which I've entered into the services, I've lost that. Nowhere
Okay.
collector, nowhere district magistrate or nowhere collector is there in my head anymore. I
Okay.
was thinking,
Okay.
I was only focused on I want to get rid of this failure tag. I cannot go out of this as a failure because
Hmm.
not it has become a very personal battle, sir. How can I see this? I started questioning my abilities. So an
Hmm.
exam cannot undermine your confidence, right? So I wanted to give it my 100%, give it my 200. So that has ignited it has opened all the doors, sir. So I was trying to find out ways how to do it better, how to do it. So I think this has
And
given.
were you studying alone at this point, or did you
Yes,
have
sir,
a
yes.
peer group?
Yeah, this is all. This was one problem, sir. I think as you were asking me, in my fifth attempt, I have realized that I've always been very uh, doing it all on my own. I've never had so many friends, even if I had stayed in Delhi. I've not never talked to so many people. I was doing it all on my own. Uh, Failed prelims, I've learned it on my own, watching here and there, and so that is, I think that is also one reason. It's very important you talk to people, you seek guidance, you meet the right people. But that is one mistake I would admit that I've made.
Okay. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go back in the time, and as far as you can remember, tell me what are the things that you started on a wrong foot for the prelims exams. Like, what are things you were doing colossally wrong and which you should not have done had the right guidance reached you or the friends would have told you?
Yes.
What were those rookie mistakes?
Yes, so point number one for prelims is that it's very important we understand it's a game of numbers. I did not know this. You had a first attempt of prelims, sir. I attempted 63 questions. I
Okay.
mean, that is blunder. That is a
Okay.
horrible blunder. You have to be in the bracket at least somewhere around 80 to 85, irrespective of anything. So 80 to 85, because there are words called accuracy and precision. The UPSC paper is such that if you attempt, you will be very confident of certain questions and you will attempt them wrong, and you don't know any questions but you will get them right. So
Okay.
all this happens. So it's
Okay.
very important you enter into that bracket of 80 to 85. I did not know this, sir. So you have to understand the game of numbers. And second, when you're giving your mocks, and as important as it in different stages of the preparation, sir, the three stages of the exam. prelims, mains, and interview, it's extremely important to simulate that environment. So the importance of mocks I'm emphasizing here, sir. You have to give so many mocks, and that too. When I'm giving mocks doesn't mean you're just worried about the score. Just give the mock and don't check the score. What you have to do is your way of attempting the paper. The way you have attempted the paper. I used to use different pens, sir, in my later attempts. Different pens to analyze. Okay, this is I've guessed and I went wrong. This is I've attempted in the first round and I got it right. This I've attempted in the second round. I was not confident in the first round, yet I got it right. So I used to do a lot of these exercises.
Okay.
And I used to attempt this paper exactly in the 9:30 to 11:30 so that your brain functions. And this is something everybody does, and this actually helps, sir. So that your brain gets tuned on that time. And third, nobody can tell you. I mean, everybody tells you, and it is important. I've made this with previous year questions is the compass and guide and soul of this preparation. How many ever questions you solve from the mocks? Up 50 questions if you're solving previous year UPSC paper questions, that too from 2013, because Tabsi, the paper has been more this thing. So if you're solving 50 questions at least from 2013, then that makes your preparation like relevant. You will not deviate out of the way. And when you're coming back to your revision also, you will hook on the topic where UPSC has asked. So not reading everything and anything. What has to be done that UPSC already gives, and that is previous year questions. And 3, sir. And 4th thing I've learned for prelims is that, sir, there are certain topics like you have to, as I've said in the first point, sir, it is a game of numbers. You have to, it's like 80 to 85. You have to get 60 questions right, and 20 you can go, okay, 60 questions right. So how to get that magical number 60 or 61? What I used to do, sir, I've seen the 2023 papers, sir. Let there be so many challenges. They can ask in different ways, but there will not be paper without polity questions. And we all know that polity questions are so certain, right? The polity questions are something which are on everybody's bag, and you cannot afford to lose those questions. If the paper is tough, you should get them. So you are 14 questions already there. And internationally and nationally, the environment has become very important. Environment is extremely important. So that is more relevant topic. 4 or 5 questions of environment. So you're already at 20. And when you look at the kind of importance attached to art and culture, in the past 5-6 years, art and culture has become very important. And we all can predict those questions also. Like there is no paper without Buddhism and Jainism. And there is no paper without any folk this thing. And focal this thing. So folklore. When we focus these things, we are slowly approaching to 60, sir. So I think if we bag these questions, irrespective of the paper, we'll be able to sail it through safely. So
okay. Take me through the depth of how did you analyze the PYQs, and which attempt you realized the importance of PYQs very seriously.
I think the attempt I have realized the importance of PYQs. I've cleared that attempt, sir. Because what happened was I'm telling you, sir, UPSC questions are more logical and more appropriate. It gives you all the signs so that you reach that answer. It gives you questions in a way that you reach that answer. Like, it doesn't want to trouble you. It just want to, maybe if my mother belongs to agriculture department, so my father belongs to animal husbandry. So even if you give that UPSC paper to them, they will answer 10-15 questions.
Really?
Yeah, so it's very fascinating. Like, it's very common sense. Before agriculture, there were questions on agriculture. My mother was answering those questions. So all you need, sometimes it feels like you need common sense to attempt a lot of questions. So why I'm emphasizing previous year questions and what I've learned is that, sir, because there is a particular reason why we need to focus on previous year questions, because for every exam, sir, not what we are doing. It's important we prepare according to what they want from us. See, they are looking for these things from us. They're expecting this. Quality is something UPSC definitely will ask 14-15 questions. So what they are asking from us, we need to be prepared for that. That is the reason behind looking at previous year questions. To understand that, yes, this is what UPSC expects from us. And sir, I also understood the philosophy of prelims also, because
Okay.
I used to believe that this is just an objective paper. How could it be different? IT, JE, all these are objective papers. But when I went with the mentality that no, I should attempt this paper like a civil servant, I'm being thrown into a hundred situation in which 100 unfamiliar situations are being thrown at me. How will I come out of it? I just have to
Okay.
qualify. How will I come out of it wisely? I might know those questions, I might not know those questions. And it is again a game of confidence also, sir. What happened with my first attempt is, again, when I saw myself in 2017, I was very underconfident. The moment I did not get first five questions, I got cold feet and hands. So that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You need to be very prepared for every kind of situation, and that is tested in your prelims only. Even if you're getting five questions wrong, you have that you have to be in a mentality that I have prepared only for 85, 15 जा सकते हैं, अभी तो 6 ही गए. I am only coming to the exam thinking I'll not attempt 15. In those questions which I'm attempting, also I'll get 20 wrong. So it's okay.
Hmm.
First five will fall into that category. It's okay. You have to be in that mentality. Only then you will get the sixth, seventh, eighth, and even if you don't know these questions, you will get them right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I am honestly speaking, I'm blown away by your, confidence. So you're speaking as a force to reckon with now, and I know it comes with the territory. Now you've qualified, you've got the IAS rank. But if you can take us through the process of getting to this state of mind, like you said, in the first attempt, you were very underprepared and underconfident. You used to get cold feet if five of those will go wrong. All this analysis that you've done, the philosophy of the paper, I am assuming this is your own, this
Yes,
came
sir.
out of your own understanding of the exam, right? Now, in which attempt did you start getting this idea of, hey, this is what UPSC wants, and the bureaucrat like qualities, the way they're assessing it? It's very beautiful the way you put it, that 100 situations thrown at you. Some you would know and some you would not. Some you can't even get right.
Yes, sir.
And now
Yes,
you
sir.
have to still perform. How
Yes, sir.
was this transformation and who all helped in this transformation? So, names of people or books or inspiration, that would be really helpful.
Yes, sir. So point number one, because I was living alone in Delhi, I used to live in my own PG. I mean, one room, single room. There's no this thing. So what I used to do was, I used to analyze these questions, and also this is one part of doing the exam. But apart from that, my mother and father, sir, to start off with, I have had immense support from them throughout the journey, because
Okay.
my father, when I failed my prelims in point 0.6 marks, sir, my failure was because of
Oh.
point 0.6. I clearly remember that, sir, that I bubbled that question, and because of that negative question, I lost my prelims. When I told
Oh.
my father that how is this, so it's so unfair that I lost my prelims in point 0.6, then my father said me that you are saying ki agar if I don't bubble that question, I would have made it to the mains. Think about people who would have who will think ki if I did not go there 1 second before, my leg would have been saved. If I did not go there, my life would have been saved. So my father always used to widen my horizon of thoughts like that. So he's very broad minded in that sense. And mm, second, one thing that has made me move forward in this journey is, one, again, before, because of my parents support. My mother and father, sir, because me and my sister both are girls, like we are girl children, and coming from a society like ours, we there are a lot of questions that they both are girls and all. My mother and father, they have stood apart, sir. They were like, we want both of you to pursue your dreams. We want both of you to achieve whatever you want. You don't have to follow the schedule the society draws, that get graduated at this age, get married at this age. You don't have to follow any of that. It's important for you to pursue your dreams, and they gave us that confidence, sir. They've always been behind us, and our whole family also. And personally also, sir, second thing is, I used to practice meditation, sir. And I
Okay.
think that is one thing I will be very grateful for. I devised it. If I can, you Sadhguru, I'm sure you have Sadhguru's meditation. Ever since I've practiced those, I've found myself at a very different. I've started experiencing so much of uh, capabilities, so much of potential, like
Clarity.
clarity of thought. Then I started experiencing like I found out like I started connecting the dots. Like
Okay.
I was able to connect the dots, and I was able to come out of my failures faster. And like what I used to do, what these meditation practices have helped me, sir. It When I used to shut my eyes, and it gives me a lot of time to be transparent with myself, and so that I used to analyze myself, and my only question was that okay, I'm failing so many times, is this something I really want to do? I'm growing old, is this something? The answer, whenever the answer used to come yes, and like I used to go forward without any looking back. So everybody is asking me now, how did you not give up? How did you not give up? Like giving up was never an I never thought of it, even never even
Okay. I want to know now. So you said you were initially enamored by the services because
yes,
your both parents are in the public services and you saw and these strict collectors copy and all that. But when you came face to face with the exam and when it hit you on the face, that enamored state went for a toss, and now it was all about, hey, I can't be a failure. I can't exit this exam out of the failure, right? And that headspace would have stayed for a while,
yes,
right?
sir.
And then Isha meditation would have helped you in some way or not. But still, how was it that you were able to maintain six attempts ka rigor, yaar? You just said, right, a girl child ho to a girl child, and parents are amazing that they are very supporting and all that. But still, it can't be a rosy thing, right? 6 attempt de
No,
rahe ho,
no, sir,
and
it
you are
was
you said you had a campus placement, I think.
yes, sir.
So
I
you
got
parked
campus
that out.
cognizant. Yes, sir.
Yeah, तो you could have gone to US and what not, right? वो सब छोड़ के I mean, I'm coming from the context कि we had another ranker this year, Aditya Pandey, who's also guiding students with us now for this year, and he'll take Zoom calls from Lavasna. He was in ICICI strategy group, छोड़ के आया और फिर 2 attempts दिए, and IT रुड़की से MBA छोड़ के आया, 2 attempt दिए, prelims fail. अब वो he's from Bihar, अब सब लोग कह रहे हैं बिगड़ गया लड़का, इसने याशी बाप के पे आश्रित हो गया, right? Which is not a great thing. And parents are getting old and you're dependent on them. How was it that you were able to maintain the headspace and be headstrong? थोड़ा बताओ कि troubled moments क्या आए थे and how did you overcome them?
Yes, sir. Sir, I think when I failed my second mains, that was the lowest point I've experienced.
Okay.
Second mains,
Which year
first,
was this?
this was in
Second.
2020, sir. 20. That
Okay.
was the year I gave my second mains. I was very confident also, sir. But what happened was, first mains I gave it very joyfully, not knowing much, and finishing the paper was a task, and not knowing very technicalities. As in, I gave it. I was hoping if my name was there, okay, I will be happy. But second mains, I was sure, sir. I did all these things right. I was expecting. But second mains, when I failed, that was a challenging point for me. I was in a dark space, definitely. But sir, how did I pull myself back together? Was my hobby again, sir. I used to read a lot of books. Especially, this is one thing I've mentioned in my DAF as well. I used to read books of autobiographies of national and international leaders,
Okay.
especially Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela, My Experiments with Truth, then Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, then Wings of Fire by APJ Abdul Kalam. Then I used to read all these books, sir, and I used to read specifically books on women empowerment. If there is any great personality, I was very fascinated to know how has this life been. Reaching those positions wouldn't have been easy. So
Yeah.
reaching those positions, when I used to read about them, the kind of struggles they face, the kind of challenges they've come across, then again, I used to question myself. What I am facing is, and especially, sir, this is what we make this preparation very mechanical. When we read the modern Indian history, when we hold that spectrum book, when we hold that Bipin Chandra NCRT, we should be extremely grateful that people have done so many things like
Mm-hmm.
the freedom fighters. When we read about 1857 revolt, if we don't internalize it, this exam will, that essence, if you don't get it, you will not be
Mm-hmm.
able to come out. So all these things all these thoughts have helped me, sir. That I used to think, see, look at what they have gone through and look at what kind of human beings they've become. So
Mm-hmm.
if we are remembering them, it's because of what they've done and the kind of dilemmas they've faced. And they have used every dilemma and every failure as an opportunity to become better, to become stronger, to become to come out even better. They found out ways. They've never given up. So all these things from the people, from those like I had this thirst, sir, as I've told you before also. I had always this thirst key, because I believe all these personalities also, I deeply respect them. Matlab, especially Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, I use him in every of my ethics answer. Like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, so the kind of background he comes from. So all these things have helped me to maintain that sense of calm. That okay, now this
Who
is
were
what.
some of the female leaders who inspired you, who taught about
Yes,
you?
sir.
If you read or
Yes.
anything you read about them?
Female I've read books on how do women rise, then especially in India when it comes to leaders like Sudha Murthy ma'am, Kiran Bedi ma'am, all these people. Sudha, and especially Michelle Obama, her book Becoming, of her, the 8 years she has spent in the White House. Michelle Obama, then all these people, sir, especially I listen to a lot of them speaking. And I think
These
mostly
are the
they.
things which kind of stay with you. These are the thoughts and anecdotes
Yes,
which
sir.
stay with
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Positive kind. I used to maintain. And, sir, one more thing is, I used to read a lot of self-help books.
you.
Like,
Okay.
Atomic Habits by James Clear. How to
Yeah.
become, and all these techniques, Kaizen, Zen, Ikigai, all these words, these are very catchy. And the books are very, and they give you techniques, they give you ways. So the books like The Secret, I love The Secret so much. I read whole
Rhonda.
series. A Hero,
Okay.
Power. There are so many books she has released, and Robin Sharma, all these motivational leaders who have given
Have you
books.
read anything from Robert Greene? Laws of Power, 48 Laws of Power.
No, no, sir.
No?
Not.
Okay. After the chat, you drop me your address and I'll send you a book. I mean, it will be helpful for your bureaucratic days ahead.
Thank you.
But you mentioned Ikigai, and I'll just take a quick detour there. How did you marry Ikigai with your UPSC preparation? If people who are interested, if they want to just have some idea how to go about it.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think this age of 20, the early years of 20, once you're a graduate, graduation is very beautiful a journey because you're becoming an adolescent to adult. There's no much responsibility on you. Once you're adult, 21 years old, you're a graduate now. And these years of 21 to 20, and everyone is in search of that ikigai, the reason for the your awakening every morning. Why are you?
Yeah.
Everybody's, I think, every youth, this as we are called them, demographic dividend and whatever you call them, they have immense potential in all ways, biologically, emotionally, physically. We are, I think, those are the years of prime 20s where we are finding out to create our own identity, move away from our homes, settle in different places and trying to create our own identity. So when we are doing this, it's very important we all find out that ikigai, what is this thing we have to chase, or we have to become, or we have to. I think that might change with time, but
Yeah.
that thirst of achieving that, you have to keep a goal or ambition, is what I believe. I think UPSC, clearing UPSC, getting into Indian Administrative Service has been my ikigai for the past 6 years. So that is something which I've dreamt for, I've awakened to, I've slept with. So
And you have a younger sister, I'm assuming?
yes, sir. She's a general surgeon, sir. She's doing her
Oh
post graduation.
boy.
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome.
She's pursuing her post graduation in general surgery.
Oh, stellar. Awesome. Okay, before we digress. So now your lowest point was when you failed the second mains
Yes.
and you got yourself up because of all these good stuff that you had. And I'm assuming all this while you were preparing from your hometown also. Or were you
No,
in
no,
Delhi
I
also?
was in Delhi. I was in 6 years for Delhi only.
Oh, okay.
Even during the COVID
You
times,
were
I was.
away from home this whole time and you were living alone. You had no relative or anyone here.
Even in the COVID times, I was alone in Delhi, sir. For
Are you
3 months,
serious?
the domestic flights were shut, and I was stuck in Delhi. I was eating, I don't know what, and I stayed there like for. It was on May 25th when the flights were reopened. I flew back to my hometown.
Oh boy. True तपस्या type चीज करी तुमने एकदम यहाँ पे. Oh God. In Delhi, you had no relatives, you had not
No, sir.
that much
No,
close
sir.
friends, nothing, no college folks doing job in nothing, all by yourself. ये
Yes.
सारा synthesis and analysis जो भी है ये खुद ही किया बैठ के and all
Yes,
that,
sir.
and
Yes.
you only had your parents to bounce off the ideas to. No mentor in your UPSC preparation journey? No senior or someone who you got in touch with who cleared the exam? Nothing?
Who cleared the exam? No, no, nobody, sir. But there was one girl who, Kavali Meghana. She was All India rank 83 in the year 2020. So
Okay.
she has guided me through the process. When I, especially during my this attempt, sir, when I was giving my mains, I used to send her my answers. Like she used to
Okay.
verify them. She was All India rank 83, and she was from Telangana, and she used to live on my room above upstairs. And so we got into,
Acha.
and that's how she used to help me a lot. And regarding mentors, sir, I'll have to be grateful for so many people, because this attempt has been extremely. I've changed the whole. I've put the preparation on a different gear altogether. For to start off with, my anthropology I've done from Lakshmaya sir, who is my father's friend. So that
Oh,
sir has helped me through my optional. Second is when it came to main, sir, Civils Daily. I've enrolled myself in Civils Daily, and most beautiful this thing about it is that Rohit sir was my this thing. Sukanya ma'am was always in constant touch with me, but Rohit sir was the mentor I was getting. And every time I wrote a mains test, he used to call me on Zoom and he used to analyze every answer. And that kind of personal mentorship, I think that is a
oh, that's
game
good.
changer for mains.
That's really good.
That is everybody. I am telling the same thing now. Please enroll in that, because it's very important. Prelims you can fight on your own, but for mains, for initial answers, when you're practicing your answer writing, if you're self-evaluating it, okay. But when you're giving your mains, and just before prelims to mains ka gap me, it's important your answer to be seen by a expert, because
Absolutely.
there is an X factor. There are certain things that those eyes can find, not you. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
for
This
that,
year, in fact,
yes,
rank 22 Pavan Datta, he's also a student of this super mentorship
yes,
thing.
yes,
And in
sir.
fact, he's now going to be one of the super mentors with us, so that, so the second or third set of eyes on your paper, like you rightly said, absolutely is very, very helpful.
Yes, sir.
And then what about the interview preparation? How did you go
Yes,
about that?
Civils Daily IAS, especially Saket Jha sir was there when I was giving my mains, but he was more into. I mean, when there was interview, Rohit sir, Sukanya ma'am, and Rahul sir also used to
Okay.
interact with me, and they verified all my answers, sir. And interview also, when my interview date, when I cleared the mains, I first came to Civils Daily only. I've met sir then,
Did you
Sajal
meet
sir.
with Sajal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I met Sajal sir then. Sajal sir, as I wasn't prepared at all. He said me
Okay.
that you give the mock. That was on December 30th. Tab tak to, there
Okay.
was nothing, not even anything. Wasn't, you give the mock, let us see. So I was unprepared. I was very this thing because sir has said I have attempted it. Shankar sir was there. There were other panel members. That was the first ever mock, sir. I gave unprepared, and that again, while giving the mock, I was very doubtful. Why am I even giving it? I wasn't prepared. But after
Okay.
giving mock, then it was a hit again. That I used to think interview will be very easy for me, because my communication
Why?
good. I speak. I mean, there is certain kind of. I used to
Yeah.
think I speak certain kind of way. I'm okay. Because my again, sir, my academic extracurricular. I'm elocution and debating, all these skills. I mean, I used to get state first and district first in competitions.
Oh,
So I
really?
used to
That's awesome.
yes, yes, I used to think interview, okay, I'll do it. When I faced at Shankar sir's panel, his first question was, don't you think you are always dependent on your parents for the past 6 years? And that has, he was very questioning all those kind of things. So I came back, and then I started calling Sajal sir. Sir, I think I need to sit down now and prepare for this very seriously. And ever since then, Sajal sir has I've done one-to-one sessions so many times with him. He used to always give me marks. Like I used to always, sir, how much marks I've improved, how much marks I've improved. Okay, I'll give you 170 now. I'll give you 165 now. Like he used to encourage me and give me like these are the questions. And sir, most important, he used to take time and send questions. Like these are the kind of questions you need to work on. And when we go there, he used to ask different kind of questions, so that preparing us for the unprepared. So Sajal sir was very helpful, and I gave mock interviews in different institutes like KSG, Khan sir, and I gave in different Bajiram, Shankar IAS. I used to pick and choose, sir, and give in
And how
different.
much did you finally get in the interviews this year?
I got 188, sir. I got Smita Nagaraj
Wow,
board, and I got 188.
that's super. That's
Yes,
super stuff, yeah. It's these I think highest was somewhere around 210.
yes,
I
sir.
think Zen then again one of our students, I think he got that. Awesome, Vinutna. What now? What lies ahead? How do you see life now changing for you? We're going to be coming to Missouri. I live in Dehradun, by the way. So this
Okay, sir.
recording, so do ring me up, when you're here, or do ping me when you're here. If you
Sure,
need
sir.
anything, any help, any local support, anything, I'll be there.
Thank you,
But
sir.
how do you see life now? What are you doing these days apart from meeting the honorable dignitaries? What else are you engaged with?
Sir, abhi to I'm engaged with my assignments, and I'm sure you're aware of it. There are a lot of assignments given, tasks given, there are forms to be filled, documents to be filled. All those are going on, and little shopping for the Labasna. But as the bigger question is, how do you see life now?
Hmm.
I see it as now huge responsibility, sir. Like abhi tak Vinutna is nobody. Like when I was preparing alone in my room, nobody knew me. But now I'm addressing so many people. Now my voice counts. But as Dr. Abraham Lincoln says, when your voice is being heard, it comes with great responsibility. So when people are looking up to me, or when parents are bringing their children to me, like, and saying we want our child to aspire for this, and when they're bringing them to me,
Hmm.
I feel it's immensely responsible. I should watch what I'm speaking, I should watch what I'm doing. I've become very conscious of my actions and my words and everything, because it'll have impact. So I should be more watchful and careful. And what I will do ahead, because sir, there are so many passionate subjects for me which have driven me throughout this preparation, like to work for poor, work for women empowerment, work for farmers, because my mother is coming from agriculture, and a lot of things, the passionate subjects. And what are the opportunities lying in front of me? How will I take them? What are the challenges, and how will I deal with them? And how is it going to be in my dream place now? I'm really excited about the journey, and I'm extremely grateful and extremely blessed to the Almighty. I mean, I feel grateful that He has chosen me. I hope I do justice, and I live up to the expectations of people around me.
I'm 100% sure you're going to do that and more. We're almost towards the end of this chat, and there's so much heart which you've brought to this chat. It's almost 10:30, I think, at night, but I'm still
Yes,
so wide awake. Just one last question.
yes.
Uh, Either in this last 1 month or in the time during your preparation, have you come across people who you saw in a situation where they needed help and you thought that I should have been an I, or I when I'm an IAS officer, I'm going to make sure that this thing is corrected, give voice to the voiceless, that kind of thing. Or in the last 1 month, have people come up to you and very earnestly requested something that, make sure that this is happening, or make sure, something like that you are able to do. Any anecdotes which you have, which you can share?
So far, I've met only aspirants, and when it comes to what can be done, when I'm meeting people, there is employment, sir. I think Andhra Pradesh government, I'm sure you must have heard of this. We have Sachivalayam Secretariat, and we have this volunteer way of giving employment to the youth, 18 years, and who have done the diplomas and all for them. So I
Hmm.
think whenever people are coming towards me, they are requesting me, please get our son a job or get our daughter a job. I think this is one thing which I will see what can be done.
Okay.
Employment is area again, that is added to my bucket list kind of thing now. Employment is something I'll look into.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Vinutna. Great chat with you. And good that we did not go much into academics per se, but we did touch them relevant and the relevant portions of it. If time permits, and if you're done with your, assignments and shopping and all that, we'll try to reconnect again and see if we can go into hardcore academics and see what all, share your notes, etc., etc. That would be really helpful. But thanks for taking the time out. Lovely to chat with you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Good night, sir.
Good night. Take care.